Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, and starting with the DAX here. As you know, with the DAX we've got two counts, so we've got wave 3 up here, and then an A wave here, a B wave here, and then 5 waves down for the C wave of wave 4 here. The other count that we can have here is wave 3 here, wave 4 completed here, and then we're moving all this move here, we would look as wave 1, and then we would look it back as an A and a B and a C. So the move down through here would either be wave 1 here, and or wave A here, and then the move back up here as wave 2 here, and wave B here. So in one way or another we'll be looking for a move down. Will it move down to this area here, or will we have a stronger move down as a strong third wave down through here? So yeah, they're the two counts. So let's just go and investigate what we've got here and look how we can move in on the short side. So just squash this up a little bit. So first of all, this can go over here. I think we're working on the hourly chart, so we can have it as wave B or wave 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we've got 5 here after a correction back into the 61.8% mark or 13,000, then we'll see a move down. So I don't know if the move down is just going to come down to the 12,300 area here as the 61.8% retracement level here for wave 2 here, and that would be in 5 waves, so 1 and 2 here and 3 probably here, something like this here. Or we'll have a stronger move down coming down into wave 3 here, either one of the two here. So one way or another we need to look at being short here. So I think we've been working on the hourly chart here, right? So last time we spoke we were looking at, well, we'll start from the top here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the A wave. This is a little bit complicated in here, but I sort of came to the conclusion that looking at the A wave here, then an A and a B, and then this was actually pretty odd, but it was because of the extra time in the futures market at traveling. So but it was 5 waves in here on the cash market. That's fine. So it made a nice B wave here, and then we're looking for a wave C here. The wave C here hasn't really moved up much more, but that's what it is. Little 5 waves here, so we have to bring it in here as wave C of B. So our next move here now we'll be looking at copying that for wave 1, and then back for wave 2 here, and then down for wave 3, 4 and 5 down there further. That's okay. If this wave 1 is completed here, we'll double check on that in a minute, but we'll look for an A and a B and a C wave, retesting the 12.8 here, and then moving down from there. So what we need is a way of entering, so perhaps through here is one way of looking at that. We can refine that, of course, but as long as you get the idea. So this, as I mentioned before, this number here, the 12,650, the 650 or the 50, the midpoint, is critical for this market to basically be bullish or bearish. We can see that it's testing it now, so we know that it's possibly being bearish, but that there as the resistance would clarify a move down lower. We can also expect a bounce off the 12,500 here, the 500. So just be mindful of that. If you're looking for a target, well, then that's it there. Let's just take a closer look at this here. I'll just save this. So just on the tick charts here, get some more space in here. So from the top here, this is 100 ticks. So I was looking at this here as wave 1 and 2 in here, then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for the third wave, and then the fourth wave, and then the fifth wave here. So the 50 and the 60% retracement levels here back at the 12.8 here. We need to be a little bit mindful that maybe I got the count wrong and it can just drop from here as well. So we need to be a little bit mindful of that. So let's just 1, 2, 3, 5. I mean, yeah, we can actually have it in there. So what we could do here is we just sort of always work from the outside and work in and looking at things. So we can see here that this is the 50 and the 60% retracement level. So if this was coming back as, let's just say, as a wave B here, just remove that. I can't draw on this side. I can do some functionality, but not a lot. So we could have a B wave here. Do you know what I mean? So an A and a B and then a C wave trying to move up into this space here. So we could say to ourselves, well, you know, if that 700 here became the retested resistance, then we would need to look at I can draw over this side. So a bounce here, come back through here, and then through here, and then down. So if that, you know, we're kind of expecting it to I can draw in here, kind of expecting it to come down here, but then to move back up from that point, you know. So if it doesn't, then that becomes our reference point. So we can move our short trade signal with a bit of safety in mind. Oops, a daisy, just get this together here. So yeah, we'll just put that in there, shall we? So it'll be a little bit tricky because we can expect it to come down to that point anyway, you know. So just, yeah, just make sure that you got a good retest on that 700 there to move in, and also perhaps trade less. And when the market comes down to this number here, it's also going to bounce back up as well. But when it flips over to the other side here and becomes the resistance, then you can look to add there again. Let's put that there so you know what's going on. Look to add to that point there. The AEX will be much the same as well, the Netherlands. So just on the daily chart here, we need to look at this being the B wave up here or wave 1. If it's wave 1, well then an A and a B and a C back for wave 2 here. If it's going to be the B wave, then we need to look at this as 1 and 2. This will be a strong third wave down here, fourth and fifth wave coming down. It will be a bit of a flat correction because it's come back up to this previous high here, and it will come down to these lows here. And double tops are never the end of a bullish trend, so we know that either way we'll be looking for further upside over here. So yeah, we just need to investigate this a little bit here. I'm not sure where we've been working, but let's do the job. So yeah, the same for the DAX. Well, so in this case here, this can be counted down as an impulse wave, or it can be counted down as an ABC, but it doesn't really matter at this particular stage because we need to tune this in with the DAX at this point because they are moving together. So we'll have to look at this as an A and a B and a C to here, or wave 2, and then moving down. This is the 50-60% retracement level area here. Let's just move into the hourly chart here, see what's what here. Just have I can see the count a bit. I'll just see if I can see it in here a bit further. I mean, it looks like we've just got 3 waves down here so far. I mean, this is where you've got to be careful because it can be corrective, you know. I don't know. Anyway, 560 is important. That can become a reference point here now. Just keep the position a little bit small at that point there, but I don't have a full impulse wave down through here. I know that can go over here. That just becomes bottom of the third, an A and a B and a C for the fourth, and down for the fifth. It does leave the third rather short though, I have to say. So that's why we need to go with this on the short side there. Let's go back to the hourly chart to have a look. Yeah, because I could see we had wave 1 and 2 and this third wave down here, and also too we're sitting on this trend line here from here to here to here, and we're in the 50-60% sort of area through here. We only have 3 waves down, so really you know, it can play out as a corrective wave. Not quite sure just yet on that. Let's get another session out of this. Even if it moves down through here, we're going to get some sort of bounce back up. You know, we're going to get, if you look at this over here, if you can imagine this here, then we need to put that into this picture over here. So we will get some sort of rally come through here. Even if this does move through here, we'll come back up and hit that trend line, and then we'll move down from that point. The UK market is much the same as well. So we need to look at the top here being wave, I could call it in as wave B over here, but it just suits better for wave 1. So I do think this is a bit of the bias here for the European markets in terms of wave 1 to the upside. An A and a B and a C coming back into this space here. So we can also look to find a way in on the short side here as well. So I'll still call it wave 1 or B, 1 or A here, and B or 2 here. In this case here, then this number here, this 7650, will be important, and we can expect a bit of a bounce off that. So from that high here, we'll look at this in a moment a bit closer, but from the high here, we'll look at 5 waves coming down and then an ABC coming back up, maybe touching the trend line, I don't know. But putting that line across that ABC is the catalyst for shorting. If that's not going to be the case, then if the 7650 here becomes the retested resistance, then you can move down. There'll obviously be a bounce here coming back up and so on, but if it finds its way under here, then you have that reference point to work with there. Let's just have a look on the hourly chart, see if we can sharpen that up a little bit here. Tick chart might be better. Just squash this up a little bit here. Well, this has got further. This trend here is not complete yet. See how that's a strong wave structure in here? So these 1s and 2s here need to play out here a little bit further. So they need to come down a bit further. And then also if I just label so you can start to see a picture sort of fold from here as well. I'll just check on the cash market, just bear with me 1 second, just see if I can just double check that and sort that out a little bit. Right, so we have to look at this as wave 1 coming down here now. Yep. So get that out of the way a bit. We'll go back to the other market, the other higher time frame, and double check with that as well. Just working on the hop here. Sorry about that, should have had it done, but it's hard to do everything. Everyone's got plenty of lists, but sometimes they can get a little bit overwhelming. So an A and a B and a C here for this, and yeah, maybe we've got to call this in the top here as well, which is another problem. Maybe the B wave not here and here. No, on the cash market, that's where it is there, so that settles that. This is the cash market talking, so don't need that. So an A, B, C, so 1 and 2, and then this is this has still got further to unwind here, so this will travel lower from here. So you can just go ahead and short. Main point here is that the stop would need to be, should be there, but you could probably get away with it there. Let me just, in case it's full on mistake. Yeah. Probably good to keep it. Oops, I should have made it red, sorry. I think we'll just leave it a little bit higher at this stage, just there. The other point here is that, what numbers have we got here? We're in group 2, so 80, 72 and 65, then the 50 here, the midpoint here. So yeah, just got to be careful we don't get a retest back. I mean, it looks pretty solid in here, and I can see this structure's not complete yet. So, yeah, by all means, look to short somewhere in maybe what we could do is just get it in the right spot. Not the right spot, but a right spot. So if the 72 here becomes the retested resistance, then that's your trigger to short. Okay, so that 72 there, 7,672, if that becomes your retested resistance, then that's your short trade in there at that stage, and that will prevent even that low being breached here will be fine too. But yeah, it's always good to get your timing right. So, and for the markets to be traveling as well with volatility. So yeah, that low is critical, and this here as the resistance is what you're really looking for. Okay, one more, the MIB, the FTSE MIB, and with this one here, this has had a different count, being bearish much longer, and I'm assuming things here with this, that we've got wave 4 in play here. We know that from this low to this high here, that's the 61.8% retracement level, so it's kind of in that space there at the moment. So it can push up from there. So this 21,500 here and this low here as the retested resistance, then it will be down from that point there. So you just need to find a way in really on that. And then you'll be looking at 20,000 here. That's always been the target area for this, probably even lower, but yeah, this market's pretty much doing its own thing in a way, because it's been already moving down from here. So yeah, that 21,500 as a retested resistance becomes the short trade down for here. And also too, we've had this here as the long trade to here. We've brought it down to here. We can also bring that down to here as well. I mean, it's always good to know what you should be doing on the flip side. Markets move either up or down, and so you need a strategy for up or down. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.